All right. What's up, everyone? We got MAXPAX on the bottom right side of Pigstarcraft, week number 7. And unfortunately, he was not able to block his opponent's hatchery. He tries for it every game, but of course, Solar, a big fan of going for the early hatchery. Sometimes as early as 14 supply to deny getting blocked, something I need to do a lot more when I'm playing Zerg vs Protoss because I hate having that expansion blocked, especially on a map like this where look how far away that third is. You might think it's not that far, but when you've got to go around this whole area, very tough dealing with Adepts and Oracles and all that sort of stuff. Spawning pools on the way and gas. Ooh, we were just talking about TV on the live stream, so I apologize to derail the cast this early, but someone just said the first episode of the June TV show wasn't entirely disappointing. I like that this is the way we talk about shows nowadays, these guys, because everyone's creating sequels or something within a universe, you know. I like that we're all lowering our expectations. And we're like, yo, that wasn't as garbage as I thought it would be. You know, like, it's fun. I don't think I'm going to watch that at all. I just have no interest in it, personally, to see some Dune prequel. Unless I hear a lot of people say it's really good, I have no interest in it. I like the movies at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I think the next movie's probably going to fall off pretty hard, but we'll see how he covers the next part of the story. But, I mean, I would love a world where we get Dune films that go to, like, Dune 16. Like, you know, to the point where it's like, it's not just acid trip, it's an acid trip upon what the hell was he thinking while he was writing this. And then it's what was his son thinking with these ones he wrote after, you know, after Dad passed, and he kept writing it, and you're like, what is happening? You know, you go read the summaries of, like, what goes on in the Dune storyline, and you're like, what? What is this? It's crazy, man. Drugs are fun, apparently. It was written during that time. They were just figuring out psychedelics back then, right? Adepts coming forward, Zerglings going after them. Okay, so this is actually a cool... I like that, using the choke point there to be a little bit annoying. Just kind of abusing this off-creep area where the queen can't quite get to him as quickly as he could. Oh, and the cancel in the shade. Okay, he's going to just hang out over there. First Oracle on the way. Now, guys, MAXPAX is super rock solid, and he doesn't mass Gateway Man as much anymore, is what I've heard. I've heard that he's very good at adding splash damage and different things. That being said, I still feel like he's a double Forge boy. I still feel like MAXPAX is so double Forge centric in his play. And even though he does go Storm and Tempest and has more of a late game, whereas he used to just run out of steam on 5 base. Really struggle even to establish a 5th base a lot of the time. He'd get ahead versus Serral every game and could never close it. I've been hearing whispers, Lambo told me. Apparently MAXPAX is nigh unbeatable right now, and if he just gets some more games in, Lambo thinks MAXPAX is going to start beating Serral and Raynor. And those 10-15% win rates he has versus those guys, he reckons he's going to turn that upside down soon. He reckons MAXPAX recently, in the few games he gets to see of him playing Dark and stuff, is on fire. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when you hear Lambo predict something, you should always have your ears perked up, because he's usually pretty on the mark. Oracle, levering its laser beam on. This is, you can just leave the laser on these days, guys. This is the modern Oracle, because the energy filled it up. And oh, Solar leaving a few drones out. Good spore save on that one, though. But Link counterattack. Stalker is exposed. Oracle takes massive damage. He's going to pile on a wall in there. Barely gets that in time, but the Stalker goes down, so still a good trade for a few Zerglings. Oracle comes in. Are we going for a stasis? And no, we're going to go for the Zappy Zap, but great pullback. Solar is on point right now. Third Nexus finish, 49 workers against 48. +1 melee starts at a pretty good time for Solar. So Solar's playing a kind of straight up standard style. If he can get away with skipping the Roach Warren and going straight to Hydras, that'd be great. Problem, it's almost 5:30. We haven't started the lair, right? When you're only on one gas, you're just focusing on Lings, Queens, Drones, Spores. You're taking bits of damages from the Adepts and the Oracles, because that's always going to happen. There's no way to stop that. It's hard to get up to that lair. Finally starting at 5.5 minutes. Meanwhile, charge and +1. This is not a blink follow-up for MAXPAX. A very different style. Could open up some nice Zealot Archon timings. If he gets a little bit ahead of the curve, could punish a Zerg who's trying to get straight to Hydras. But we can see a Roach Warren now comes in, and MAXPAX sees that Roach Warren as well. So that's going to be some useful scouting info as he cancels the Shade. Now, when you play this style, it's very weak to Swarm Host. So if Solar was to just go 3-base Swarm Host, especially with a Nidus, pop a Nidus here, throw into this main base, which is very powerful on this map. Start throwing Niduses up the top as well, do the same thing into the third. Very hard for a charge player to defend because they don't have the same mobility as a Blink Stalker player, but rare for someone who opens melee to even really have that in their considerations. Templar Archives coming in. Prism as well. We've got 4 gates up, 2 more building. I think we usually go 4th base here. The question is where? Is MAXPAX just going to take this top right? Because he hasn't started opening these minerals up. And I kind of wonder what the plan is. Oh, don't lose the Oracle. Almost loses one. So far, units lost tab is in favor of Protoss, but not massively so. This looks like a very even game. And actually, yeah, he's just expanding to the front. MAXPAX playing like a proper normie right now. I do like that he's not gone second forge, guys. This to me feels like just Storm, right? He's going to make High Templar for Archons to start. Going to go for the Archon drop in the bottom. Ooh, couple Zealots and Stalkers attacking the top end of the natural, and Archon Zealot into the south at the same time could be good. But look at that. 4th base on the gold. He's got a little, you know, I feel like this here is home for a Zerg player. This little area nested between these 2 big lumps, you know? Something about resting on Zagara's breast in there. I don't know. It feels comfortable. There's something about having that gold base with 2 hatcheries so close to each other. So rare, but you get to have it on this map. Zealots do take down the Queen on the left side. Queen and Roach trying to pull back over there. The Archon Zealot, you got to pull back between the hatcheries. Like I said, that's the safe space. That's the safe space back there. Let the hatcheries do a bit of tanking. The Zealots are getting cleaned up. The Archon's landing some big hits though. But MAXPAX has to pull away before those Archons go down. Archon trying to drop on top. Dude, these Roaches taking some boom booms. Oh, some big boom booms, man. Very nice Archon shots. At the same time, Roach counterattack comes in, but... Oracles have so much energy these days. You got to be really careful with these sort of counterattacks, guys, because normally Oracles don't have enough energy to just constantly zap you down, but with that energy recharge, they can be much more of a nuisance. You just got to run away. It's not being microed by MAXPAX. Oh, look at that! Archon drop across behind the gold minerals. Very nice. Oh, these 2 friggin' chunkers taking down the drones. 6 drones go down. Really nice move there. And Solar's looking like he wants to all in, guys. He's on mass Roach Ravagerling. He took the gold. He wants to A-move Roaches. We know this is Solar's favorite strategy. Just shoving Roaches into his opponent's face. 0 respect. He's going to bring a few Queens to help deal with those Overlords. He's going to drop some creep down potentially as well. Very nice creep streamer going down. Ravagers on the front line, not my favorite move. But there's not much Protoss here. Stasis Traps trying to save the day. He does have energy recharge. He needs to keep layering these Stasis Traps back and give up on the 4th base. Honestly, if you lose the 4th base as MAXPAX, I don't think it matters. You just have to survive. He's trying to go Blink here as well. I think he was worried about a Mutaswap. Of course, in hindsight, that's not really a concern. 13 probes have already gone down. The Archon. How is this Archon still alive? There's only 3 Queens left on the map. 2 of them are on the Zerg side of the entire map. But that Archon drop, MAXPAX multitasking is unreal. Get out of here. It's not fair. Clem and MAXPAX are both unfair players. Every time I watch their multitasking, he saves it. He even saves it when the Roaches get over there. He's keeping 15 Roaches, 20 Roaches pinned at home, and a lot of Solar's attention using his mechanics alone. MAXPAX is a freak, man. Chat says the MAXPAX AI just got itself a new update called Insane Multitasking Update with bug fixes involved. Him not being able to look at 3 places at once and him playing with less than 700 APM. We fixed all those. Even though the average APM only says 326, he is incredibly precise, guys. Zealot Stalker, Archon Immortal coming forward. The Roach Ravager is still here. Solar's economy is in the dumps. Only 55 workers. But with a 4th base up, keeping MAXPAX on 3 base, he could play a slow game. He doesn't have to go all in here. But the Ravagers are exposed in the front. Biles trying to come down. Archons take some big Biles. He gets rid of the 2 Archons in the front. Guardian Shield does help out a fair bit here. Those Biles looking pretty nice. Good micro for Solar. I'd love to see Solar try to drone up and take a 5th base. He's going for a Hydra Den. Why? This Prism. The Archon finally died in it, but that Prism has triggered him. It has sent him to a frustrating place. He's like, gosh, he's trying to spread creep backwards now. If he can honestly squeeze out a round of drones, macro up, make +2 range, which he's doing, head towards Hive Play Lurkers, he can do it. Especially if he could sneak up here, deny this 4th base, and run away. At this point, MAXPAX's army is incredibly scary. You do not want to fight into it, especially if he gets to like Psystorm or Disruptors. Maybe not Disruptors because they're kind of garbo versus Zerg these days. But yeah, if he could deny that top base, I think Solar's actually able to transition just fine. Even though he's down in workers, the extra, bases available means your income is very similar. And still not the highest tech for the Protoss just yet. But the Ravagers, ideally they can pick off an Archon or 2 here. He's got to split some units up north. Zealots come in, big warp in from that Warp Prism, and man, that Warp Prism. Dude, the Warp Prism, when someone is just faster than you and better than you and just playing insane on a mechanical level, The War Prism truly feels like one of the most ridiculous things, especially when you're, as a Zerg, you're so often trying to get a Protoss with a big all-in and put all your eggs in one basket and catch them off guard. But the Prism just getting you with these cheap expendable Zealots, forcing that multitasking, being the MVP. The 2 Archons that were in it before, now some Zerglings get cleaned up by Zealots here, which are ready to run in. The Prism's ready to go drop Zealots in the main. Storm and Fleet Beacon on the way. MAXPAX has made it past the scariest stage of this game. He doesn't quite have Storm yet. Oracles come forward. They're going to chase off the Ravagers. His 4th base is up. MAXPAX is going to put on gas in the next 3, 2, 1 seconds. Keep your eyes on it, guys. Trust me, he's going to put on gas. Man's multitasking is insane. Damn it! I tried to do a wizard moment with my commentary. I failed, guys. I'm not a good commentator. Just a man trying to make dumb predictions and failing. Zealots going down. Prism does take damage there. Remember, Prism goes down faster to Spore Crawlers now as well. Another 2 drones do fall. He's warping in Zealots. He's going to push the front. He's pushing the front right now. Storm's finishing. It's a Storm timing attack, guys. It's a Storm timing attack. Zealots in the back have been defended by the Roaches. These Archons on the left splitting away. Slight miscontrol there for MAXPAX. Loses 2 Archons, but you can't chase into the Storm. Stasis Trap's going down as well. Oracle goes down to the Hydra on the south side. Storms on the Ravagers. It seemed like an okay engage for Solar, but he is eating big Storms. That being said, killing a lot of expensive Protoss units. Hydra Link kind of filtering in from the south as well. The Guardian Shield really helping out. So many players forget to use Guardian Shield, not MAXPAX. MAXPAX using all the little details, and that is part of why he's able to come out on top. He's up 35 supply. Mama's almost here. And guys, I don't know if you've seen the greatest comedy film of all time, Big Mama's House. But right now, we are watching Big Mama's House 13, the sequel you never heard about, where she pops out on 13 minutes, she runs over to the Zerg base, and Solar insta-taps. Like, I'm telling you, the moment he sees, he didn't even wait. He sensed she was about to emerge, and he said, no, 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 I'm not letting the Protoss have fun with Mothership. He GG's right there. MAXPAX wins game 1. All right, guys, going into game 2, MAXPAX did manage to get the block down this time, and Solar has to take the 3rd base. Not sure if he wasn't willing to go for the 14 hatchery this time, or just MAXPAX sent that probe obscenely early. I think he just was I think this is the normal probe timing, because MAXPAX very rarely varies up his probe timing. I think Solar was just hoping he wouldn't send the probe, which is a good mind game against a normal Protoss who varies their probe timings. MAXPAX very rarely varies his probe timing. It's not something he bothers doing very often. Like, a lot of players, they try to vary their strategy every game. MAXPAX is the kind of guy who does the same thing every game, so 1 in 7 games, when he does like a slight variation, you don't expect it. Whereas a guy, a lot of other players are more like the Dark or the Hero, where they're like, well, I never do the same thing twice in a row, therefore you can't expect it. For MAXPAX, it's like, hey, when I do that little surprise, that 1 in 7 games, that it'll catch you off guard, This is the semifinals, guys. I had the scoreboard wrong in the last one. It was best of 3, of course, not best of 5. That was just me pressing the wrong button like a dum-dum. But it is what it is. Drones coming out. Main base there. 3rd base there. Stargate goes down. MAXPAX has a smooth and clear path to victory, which is make Adepts, make Oracles, get to your 3rd base, and work your way up to that macro game while harassing, while scouting, while making sure you're not dying to any sort of surprise all-ins. That's what it's all about. If your name is MAXPAX. Now, we do have a single Zergling there. He's going to wait for the 2nd Adept to come out. He should click that in right now. If he clicks it in now, I think he'll wait to see the Adept pop and then click it in. And the idea is, we'll get a Ling in, scout what you're doing. There's only 6 Zerglings out, 2 Queens. 3rd Queen is building. The opening is a little more fragile these days, by the way. Oh, I would have clicked it in early and lost the Zergling. Solar mistimed. Solar perfectly timed it. I would have mistimed. I thought he could just go in, but MAXPAX, you could see, even checked for the Zergling. Solar knew that he would check, and therefore stayed even further back. So really nice play from both sides. Queen needs to get some damage up for free. Obviously, they can't really kill a Queen, 2 Adepts. And losing only 1 Zerg is perfectly fine. Great positioning with the Lings. You can kind of stop the retreat there. Good pullback. And you should get an Adept. Nice. I mean, losing mining time sucks, but I think that's worth cleaning up the Adept. Doesn't put you massively ahead or anything, but it's just a small thing that helps. Now, we just saw that Oracle on top of our screen get the energy recharge. Good micro by Solar to see everything that's going on here. And should keep this Adept busy as well. While the Lings come forward, and that Adept barely gets to the wall off in time. MAXPAX escorting that probe really safe. And notice he didn't turn the laser off. You used to feel really bad about having to leave the laser on. These days, you're like, yeah, it's not so bad. It's okay. Ooh, okay, guys. Natural is here. 3rd is there. Do need workers on gas up there. Evo Chamber tries to build. Oracle's pulling back. Oracle pulling back. 2 more Overlords building, guys. Oh no. Solar playing like Dark. Oracle gets 2 drones down here. 10 lava in the bank. He has so much lava, but I feel like maybe... I guess it's just hard with the new expensiver queens. Expensiver, yes, guys. I know. I'm a high-level Englando speaker. A bit hard to spend it. He finally starts getting through all those minerals now. So he was never really supply blocked. It's just struggling to spend the money, which is what's going to happen when you're defending MAXPAX or Oracle Adept. 2 spores, 6 queens, 7th queen about to pop. Solar's just playing very safe. Oh, the queen's still not in position. Oh, that Oracle being cheeky. But only 1 more drone. So thankfully the extractor did protect 2 of those by hiding them inside. 3 queens there on the natural as well. Solar looks pretty solid. If we look at his vision, he's well set up. But I'd like to see Lair earlier. There we go. As I say it, 2 more gases go down, Lair on the way, and no doubt we'll be seeing that Roach Warren in a second. So it looks to me like Solar's giving up on the +1 melee, and it's unfortunate for him because this is the game where actually MAXPAX is doing a 6-gate blink, which is where the +1 on those Zerglings can help out a bit more. Good transfuse comes in at the last second. Lings stopping the Adepts from being able to shade. Good cancel for MAXPAX, and Solar goes for the 4th. So it's 6-gate blink into 6 gas. Very solid, well-rounded play. And 6-gate blink into a 4th Nexus, and then Storm. Very solid play, but if you go double Forge before Storm, it does feel like it's a little risky, unless the Zerg is just going full macro mode. Dep's trying to come in, trying to deal with this, trying to shade on forward. Cancels at the last second. Drones went back to mine a bit too early, and 4 of those do die. But the Lings have good surface area now, and they will finally clean up those Adepts. Units lost tab shows us favor of Protoss. 500 minerals as the Overlord gets sniped by the Oracle there. Robo goes down as well as Templar Archives and a 2nd Forge. Interesting. Robo, Templar Archives, and 2nd Forge all before 4th Nexus. So I think this tells us that basically MAXPAX is saying I still want to play the same very heavy tech, like a double upgrade into Storm style that I want to play. Difference being I'm worried about you doing a 3-base Roach Max. So I don't want to do all this and rush a 4th Nexus, because then I might open myself to just dying. Like if you go double Forge, Storm, Blink, Charge, Robo, Observer, Warp Prism, it's a lot of things that will not help defend against a Roach Max. Now luckily for him, or you'd say luckily for Solar actually, Solar is going to be going Hive. So Hive's going to start right now, guys. His Infestation Pit just finished. Unless he's going Swarm Hosts, which I would not advise. Stalker's keeping him distracted on the front. 4 Overlords building, bunch of Roaches as well. Queen's taking damage. Stasis traps do get set off. Oh, there's another Stasis there. Stalker's trying to blink back. Roaches and Queens trying to hold that high ground. Revelation helping out with a bit of vision. 2-1 upgrades in Storm, all on the way, as well as the 4th Nexus now for MAXPAX. MAXPAX with some good blink micro. Roaches without Roach speed. No Ravages, no Zerglings is a problem. Against this sort of pressure, if you don't have melee, I always feel like you need a few Ravages. Ravages have 6 range on their attack. They can drop zoning Corrosive Biles. You don't have an overwhelming number of Zerglings. You don't have +1 melee. You really want to have a few Ravages here when this all starts. They are more expensive units, more costly to lose, but dude, the unit trading is out of this world. MAXPAX just being an absolute annoying player to play against. And look at that. 1,300 resources lost advantage in MAXPAX's favor. He's going to build 4 more gateways here, guys. A bit of a semi-wall on the 3rd. 4th base coming up. Cannons and batteries going down. And he's already got those High Templar gathering up. Storm's now finished. It is Swarmos? No. But why? Solar, it's too... Number 1, it's too late. Number 2, it's not great for this map. Especially without a Nidus Worm, right? He doesn't have enough creep control. Maybe he drops a Nidus now after starting the first 10, 11 Swarm Hosts. Just feels like they're not going to be able to do anything. Like, there's no way you sneak these Swarm Hosts across the map, is there? I feel like MAXPAX should, on paper, be able to defend this really well. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to say it's bad. I just think MAXPAX has already had a good enough start to this game. Done some really good harassment. It's... The Swarm Hosts... Okay, there we go. Nidus Worm is a bit late. Swarm Hosts, like I said, this is better versus the Zealot style that we saw in map 1. Because they don't have as much mobility. Stalkers are going to be a bit better at shutting down the Nidus Worms. But if you do get, you know, Nidus in the top left, up here, throw them in the natural, Robo's exposed, Nexus exposed. You can also do it down here into this 4th base. But cannons, batteries, and more importantly, just MAXPAX supply is so very high right now. He's got a lot of Storm that can clear the first few Locust waves, lots of Archons, and it feels like Solar's Swarm Host tech is just kicking in a bit too late to be effective. First Nidus goes down in the south of the map, guys. A little bit late on that Nidus, like I said. Would have liked to see the Nidus earlier. Before the Swarm hosts were built or at the same time. Gonna come out now. Gonna pop these Swarm hosts out, see if he can kill a 4th base, but a little bit slow on the unload right now. Might have to use them to defend. He's gonna load a few Queens as well as a pack of Swarm hosts. Can he defend at the same time though? Mass Storm, Archon on the front. Roach is trying to defend. They're getting overwhelmed with Zealot Archon. Locust will go in on that side, but he's getting hit. He's getting overwhelmed in the north. The Storm's hitting him in the south. Dude, I think he might just die here. This is a 180 supply Protoss who just has no respect for the Zerg. The Storms are deadly. Locusts land. They kill a bunch of probes. A lot of probes go down. But you're losing your own 4th base at the same time. Your army's getting pushed in. And just MAXPAX macro is insane, guys. MAXPAX macro, utterly insane. That's a man who has very little fear and plays some very perfect StarCraft. MAXPAX takes the 2-0.